Welcome to All About Love. As promised from today's live, I'm going to do a quick little presentation to just discuss love. We're doing a four-part series on Patreon that started today, Let Love In, and we're covering everything from how you form bonds and boundaries from childhood that later you go on to figure out are oftentimes reflected in relationships through treatment and mistreatment, and then what you can do to clear that gunk so that you can let love in. So, just a little practical thing here, just to have fun, because why not? And we discussed it and we had a really good time. So, we're just going to keep the good times going. So, some of the fun stuff, love oil recipe. Okay, if you're into that, that's cool. I have a little vial here. I have about 5 or 6 of these. I usually give them away. This is not a love oil. This one is my anointing oil, as in the live today. We did anointing POV, but it depends how you make it. You just put your intention into it. So, here's some ingredients that are very nice for getting you into the flow of romance. And if you've read the Kama Sutra, and if you're familiar with the Kama Sutra, then you know all the things that men would have to do to win the favor of a woman and be able to bed her, romance her, marry her, and so forth. And one of them is following the trace of scents on her body. So let's say you put peppermint oil down your arms, sandalwood traces and lavender down your back, and you would have to smell them in like a pattern to be able to approach to the next level and impress you some more. So I think there's something very magical about incorporating nature into how we live. So carrier oils that are pretty good for love. Here's sweet almond oil is probably the most popular one. I really like jojoba oil. Castor oil is drying, so I would say if you're going to use it on your face or something, probably not. Don't do it if you're going to mix it with essential oils. But anyway, olive oil, whatever you have. Rose essential oil, good rose oil, the best in the world, not just my opinion, though it is, I know I'm right, so I'll carry on, is Bulgarian. If you can get Bulgarian rose oil, it's so incredibly intoxicating. I love it so much. Okay, jasmine and lavender feature quite a lot as well. And citrus oils, they're meant to, like sweet orange, bergamot, lemongrass, and such. Okay, they are usually good for wealth as well, but they're uplifting. They're very sunny, so I love bergamot. It's my favorite. So they're very yummy. Rosemary, thyme, patchouli, sandalwood are all aphrodisiacs, so you can have fun with that. And cinnamon and clove for comfort and quickness makes things come very quickly. Like, if you've done any kind of work, if you want something to happen really fast, then you would incorporate catnip, very magnetic, or coffee. Coffee tends to run through our veins and stay in our systems. So you can involve coffee grounds. Not that I would put that in an oil, but just, for fun. Why not? We're allowed to have fun. So anyway, have fun with it. Obviously, program your intention. I would definitely do it on a Friday if you could find the hour of Venus as well. And then we'll discuss that timing and location a little bit in a second. So, mantra, like prayer, is so important to condition your mind. So, when I'm giving you remedies and things like this, things to do, it's not that you're asking life and God to bring you the perfect woman or to bring you the perfect man. Because if you are not healed, you won't even know what to do with them. Okay, so as we discussed in the live earlier, there is no such thing as rejection. You repel. So if someone is not to your standard, something will just happen. A schism, something will fall through. It won't work out. They'll deceive you or betray you something. But it's not that you're supposed to take that. It's hard not to take it personally, but don't. They're just not ready for you. Okay. And when I do readings, as you know, the love readings and spouse description, I begin with relationship capacity called chastity yogas. So some people have very little capacity for a relationship, like they're at zero or like negative, and some people are just really fluid and flexible and emotionally intelligent and comfortable with themselves. They can marry anyone and think it's their soulmate and be really happy. Okay. And some people just don't have it. So, and most people are somewhere in the middle. But the point of this mantra is to understand that you are changing your consciousness. This is a daily discipline. This is your sadhana. Okay. You should do this every single day. So you should pray, you should journal, you should focus on it. Sorry, I just dropped some books, a little distracting. And speaking of discipline, lock in. Lock in. It's February 2025. Get it together. So when you change, you will see things differently. Okay, so when I do charts, I often say to people, the way you are right now, if you don't do, what you feel you should, you can go to a house party tonight, Friday night. You can go to a house party and there will be 5, 6 perfectly eligible people that will tick everything on on your list, every single thing. But because you are not receiving, you are not comfortable with yourself, you're insecure, or you're really angry. Like I find that's a common thing with my male clients these days, or just my observation as well. They're just angry. Like they're angry at women, or they're angry that they feel they can't get a woman. And it's like their own narrative. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. But if you walk in with that kind of stink on your aura, you're going to repel everybody. And you're going to wonder, where's this perfect woman? There was 5 of them there for you. You just couldn't see them, right? They can come up to you, they can give you their number, but if you're not in that headspace, you can't recognize it. So this is the ultimate love mantra, okay? This is specifically for women who are heterosexual, women looking for a man. If you're a man and you want a husband, you want to marry a man, you can say this. If you're a man who wants a woman, it's a different mantra. So don't say this if you're a single man and you want to get with a woman. If you ask me, I can give it to you. Okay, I can give you the mantra. So this is Om Sat Patim Dehi Parameshwara. What it means is Sat is truth. Okay, Patim is the spouse, and then Dehi Parameshwara. So you are calling in, you are bringing in the embodiment of divine masculinity, and Sat means truth. So your true partner, your truly divinely ordained partner. And so you can try this, okay, 108 times a day. That's the span of a mala. So 108 beads, okay? So you start at one end and you go all the way around. 108 times you say this every day. I said, don't be lazy, for 40 days. For 40 days. If you meet someone before the 40 days is up, you still have to finish the 40 days. You have to show discipline and sincerity, okay? If you don't meet someone after the 40 days, you do it again. You pick yourself up and you do it again because it's changing you. Okay, so in Tantra as well, you understand nothing really has anything to do with the outside. You change yourself, you rearrange. Like Neville Goddard says, it's states of consciousness, states of mind. So you change your state and you bring someone in. Or you bring someone in that doesn't work out. It's okay. You do it another 40 days, you bring in someone even better. So you just keeps going. You have to keep going. You're on this journey with yourself. You have to be in a good relationship with yourself. So I mentioned timing and placements. This is Vastu, as we know, the original Feng Shui. So generally speaking, the southwest corner is the love corner, okay? Some people say it's going to be northwest. Some people say southwest. Some people say northeast. Northeast is specifically for wealth, but there are other things you can do. So if you live in a small space, if you have a room in an apartment, or you rent a room in a house, and you can't take charge of a corner of a house or that apartment, you're secluded to your own area, that's okay. There's certain things you can do. Okay, so number one, of course, the southwest direction is for love energy. It's the earth element. So this has to be cleared of clutter. It has to be dust free. As we know, Dhumavati, loves filth, sour, and spice, and we don't want to attract poverty and hardship and lack into our love area. So my southwest corner, I have books. I have a massive, I would show you, but the last few times I've showed you my books, you said that it triggered a panic attack or anxiety. So I'm not going to do that. But heavy, heavy stuff, okay, is in that corner. Now I have a door. So I can't put things physically in the corner because the door can't open, but it's as proximate as I can get it. Color is important. Try not to keep things that are decorative or something like that are blue, which is ironic. It's my favorite color. My walls are light blue. My book cart is bright blue. It's like turquoise, but it should be warm beigey colors. Okay, like something like this. You go light on relationships. Very good book. It's taught me a lot. Okay, orange, warm earth tones. All right, fine. That's good for love. The reason you should steer clear of blue is because water is transient. Okay, it passes unless it's a frozen lake, and then you don't want to be in a cold relationship, so you want to warm it up. Like me, if you have blue things there, you should warm it up. Okay, put something reddish, etc. Another thing that's quite helpful, and I've tested this twice and I found it to work both times, is if you have little figurines of lovebirds, a pair of something, but lovebirds are preferable, or a picture. Of course, in my other place, I definitely got little figurines. I asked my friend who took a Vastu course, I said, okay, she said, if you can get white lovebirds, that'd be fine. I said, okay, I get what I can find. And I said, where should I put them? And she said, put it in this corner, not that corner. I said, okay, let me try. And when I moved them, the next day I got a date. And then a week later, I got a date with someone else. And I was like, this is crazy. It works really fast. And then what had happened was, as well, I had the lovebirds in a different corner. Now I just printed a picture off the internet. Just Google like Vastu lovebirds or something like that, okay? They should be harmonious. It shouldn't be birds that are like being hunted and distressed, okay? They should be like happy and like smooching and touching beaks or something. Canoodling, nuzzling, sure. Okay, so you would then put them in that corner, and I did that again, and I scored a date the same day. So I'm like, there's clearly something to this, okay? So I said again, colors, orange, yellow, pink, beige, earth tones, and then a pair of something. So ideally two lovebirds, and depends if you have a shelf, you know, you could put some fruit out, I put two oranges, etc. So give it a try. Now, the other thing with directions is, as I said, what if you're living in a small space and you can't do a whole lot and you want to do your mantras? Actually, the place where you do your mantras does matter, okay? So there's an order to things, right? So if you're going to do mantras, you want to evoke Ganesh first because he removes obstacles. And I feel that this is the same with prayer. Like the Bible tells us, if you're going to sit down and pray, you have to do what? Remove unforgiveness from your heart, okay? Muslims clean themselves before they pray. You show up in your spirit and in your mind feeling clean and clear. You're not angry. If you are, be angry but sin not. You're clean. You're not filthy. You don't smell. So several things I've changed, you know, if I'm going to do any type of sadhana, is to be clear-headed. Even if I'm groggy in the morning and I'm doing my morning pages, I don't do them if I'm like in a raging bad mood or I try to catch myself, right? Don't sit down to do your prayers or write or read a holy book with cigarette stink on your lips or you're high on marijuana. Don't do that. Show up with some type of respect, you know, show yourself that you honor the path that you're on and that you're really serious about this business. You know, you're changing yourself so you can receive better things. So if you do it half-heartedly or half-assedly, then your results are going to be lukewarm. You have to have intensity, okay? Arousal is the beginning of all magic. You have to get excited. You have to be enthusiastic about what you're asking for, okay? Really, really mean it. So, direction wise, if you wish, okay, I pray in the Western direction. That's the way I've set myself up. That's just every place that I've lived, that's just what's worked for me. So that's just what I could, that just happened to be that way. So I just take it as a sign from God. It's meant to be that way. And I've lived in many places. I've been more transient than I wish to, but the Western direction is generally, let's say, Ganesh. He likes to face west. And in Vastu, anything that you put in the west multiplies. It will be fruitful. So if you can't do stuff in the southwest corner, then say your prayers and your journaling and your mantras and your intentions facing west, okay? If you can't face west for whatever reason, again, maybe your room isn't set up that way or whatever, you're sharing a space, east. East is the direction of Lakshmi. East is the direction of Venus, okay? So you want to face east if you're specifically trying to evoke love, okay? And if you can as well, try starting on a Friday. Honor Shukra. Shukra is the name for Venus, and clearly the um, Karaka, the signifier of relationships for everybody. So even if your Venus is trashed in your chart, you take a few steps like that, it'll help you. Okay, we can do, somebody asked for a course on remedies. We can do a host of every kind of remedy, luck, health, planets, all of it. But if you're having trouble with Venus, if she's debilitated in Scorpio, Aries, Virgo, if she's in the 10th house, if she's conjunct a malefic like Saturn or either of the nodes, you know, or she's crushed, like her, she has poor planetary dignity called Lajitadiya Vashta, you can do certain things. Okay, a very simple example, if you like practical, like I find people like they like, especially in the West, people are doers. They don't want to sit around and like meditate and soul search. They want to take action. They think it's going to help. But you could burn a cinnamon stick and blow the smoke in the eastern direction. Set it to the east. Okay, so on a Friday, do that. Okay, right. So that's for Vastu. And again, just generally, you should live in clean places. Okay, you can help it. Cleaning products are cheap. You can go to like a dollar store and get whatever you need. You shouldn't have filth, okay? That's just very, very bad, low vibration. Prayer, okay. Marianne Williamson's Illuminata, you know, I discussed this a lot in all my classes. I haven't done a proper course since 2023, but we did do our calls for 2024 every month. Can you believe it? We didn't miss a single month. So, Prayer to Attract Great Love for Marianne Williamson. I've had this book since university. I mean, it's colored in wax, it's covered in notes, it's been used to death. I think it's a really fun little read. There's prayer for intimacy as well. But page 151, so this is the prayer. I've just taken it out of the page and put it on here. If you'd like to pause, read it, think about it, contemplate on it, by all means, be my guest. It's wonderful. I love Marianne Williamson. I love her books. I have another book on love on my nightstand. She's lovely. Okay, astrology. So love is coming. How to see when a good time for love is astrologically. Wow, I really gotta lock in. When seventh ruler transits the seventh, and I put Capricorn ascendants break out into thunderous laughter because obviously you would have moon in the seventh house, which for you would be once a month every month, so highly unstable, but there are better things, okay? Transits to the seventh house by Jupiter and Venus, okay? Jupiter is the planet of largeness called Guru, which means a person that is heavy with knowledge, heavy with experience. So he's going to bring you prospects, he's going to bring you more experiences when he's in the seventh house. Venus is the laziest planet. She's very attractive. She rules sugar, so she's very sticky. Everybody loves, they flock to her. So naturally, when she's transiting the seventh, it's okay. It's not bad, clearly. It's very good for love. This happens once a year for everybody. So lock in. If you're a Pisces rising, when Venus goes into Virgo, that's your time to lock in, like late summer, autumn, okay? If you're Scorpio rising, then when she's in Taurus around the springtime, okay? So you should look into that. And then when you run the dasha of your seventh lord. So today on the live, we did some live readings. We had someone ask about their love life, and they are running a Saturn Mahadasha for a Gemini rising. So naturally, that means Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. They are running their major Saturn dasha. So it's going to propel them. Okay. That window of time is going to open the possibility. And then you have to narrow it down more and more and more to see when it's actually most probable for them to meet somebody and lock in. Okay. Why are you waiting? Pop shit off? Okay. You like someone, just pop it off. Okay. You could tell I was lecturing people on the live. I'm in the mood today. I'm feeling feisty. I'm fiery. Okay. Jupiter aspect. Now notice I said aspect. Okay. There's something called special aspects in astrology. So when Jupiter is in the first, third, seventh, 11th house, all these houses are viable. He by his aspect, okay, from the first, he has a seventh aspect. He aspects the seventh house. From the third and 11th, he aspects his fifth and ninth aspect. He will aspect the seventh house. So it will help that seventh house activate. Okay, there's more ways to do it, but we're just being very general. For marriage, you want to also include Saturn. You need the two giants to see a window of marriage. Okay, if people get married outside those windows, obviously it's possible, but we're asking for something that's going to be joyful and last a really long time, not just getting married for the sake of being married. You're actually like on fire for the idea and this individual. Saturn is necessary. Okay, Saturn is Chronos. He rules time. Marriage is meant to last a lifetime. You're meant quote unquote to do it once. This is what people think. What did I say? Like Liz Taylor, I want to get married as much as I can. I think that's great. It's so funny. So, okay, so Saturn and his aspect. So he has special aspects. Okay, so when he's in the first house, he'll aspect the seventh. When he's in the fifth house, he'll aspect the seventh. And when he's in the 10th house, the 10th from the 10th is the seventh. He has a special aspect, the 10th aspect. So if you have, for example, Jupiter transiting the seventh as a Sagittarius rising, and if Saturn was in the fifth, then that happened to Scorpio risings not too long ago, I think. Yeah, Scorpio risings had Saturn in the fifth and Jupiter in the seventh, okay, when Jupiter was in Taurus before May 26th of last year. So, that would be a very, very active time for people to go on as many dates as possible. Venus in the first house also makes you very attractive. When Venus transits the first house once a year, people tend to experience more social outings, invitations, they get invited to go places, okay? And also apply all of these principles and aspects from the moon, okay? There's more things you can do, like meeting somebody fated. Ketu is currently in Virgo, tropically. So if your Dara Karka is in Virgo, then that's probably a fated meeting that you'll have, okay? Or a past life, like you've been married before, you've known them from a past life, okay? Something like that. So thank you for listening. Let me see if there's anything else here. But, also check the D, also check the D9. Apply all those things to the D9. As you know, We discuss a lot when we predict with the Navamsha. Okay, VP Goel's book. We talk about it on the lives. Of course, I'm happy to do a course. Let me know what you want a course in, and then we can start the registration process, and I'll make it. But remember, have fun. Okay, have fun. You have to have fun when you do these things. You're trying to change your consciousness. So go to Patreon and look up Guru Grit. People ask me, how do I find you? Literally just look up Guru Grit. It's the same on every platform. So that's why it's called Guru Grit, because it's to be heavy with experience and you need grit to learn anything. So it's my an ode to the learning process because I'm a lifelong student. So I love that very much. But on Patreon, we started a series today, Let Love In. Okay, let love in. You don't seek it. Okay, D.H. Lawrence said, never go looking for love. Those who go looking for love only make manifest their own lovelessness. Only the loving find love. And that's true. There's truth in that. When I never think about it, I get asked out. When I'm feeling loved up, I get asked out, you know? It's but I never really care, you know, in the best possible way. That's why I'm able to like have fun and just like not take things personally. So go listen to Let Love In. As I said, it's going to be a 4-part series on Patreon. You have to be a patron, of course. I work for my patrons. I work, I earn it. Okay. You make me earn it. I'm happy to do it. I feel like a dog. I'm like, woof, woof, woof. But yeah, we're going to have fun with that. And then I'm thinking for March, for International Women's Day, we're going to go over more tantric and spiritual principles on womanhood and what it is to be a woman. Osho discusses this very, very well. Lots of other teachers, of course. But in any case, yeah, if you'd like a love reading, a spouse description, and your capacity for love assessment and timing windows that are probably going to work better for you than other times. So, like if you have a 6-month dry spell, just focus on your bag, get your money, go do the Stairmaster, do something, get a hobby, right? And then when the love windows open, that's when you need to lock in. Okay, lock in. It's 2025. I'm tired of yelling at you. Just do it already. So go to gurugrit.com and buy the spouse description and love reading. It is on sale 30% off only from today, from this Friday until next Friday. Okay, so Valentine's Day, I'm going to give you the grace of all of Valentine's Day. On the 15th, it expires. Okay, so go ahead. More is the code. Use the code more if you want 30% off for the love reading. Okay, I hope you've had fun. And yeah, until next time, I love you all. And thank you for always being with me and hanging out with me. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok. You know the drill. All right, until next time. Bye. What have I done? Oh, okay.